What's up, guys? This is Mick and you're watching The Anabolic Angle. Yesterday was the Prague Pro and Martin took the victory and a lot of people were upset, so it caused quite a stir. We're going to have a look and see whether this was truly the victory for Martin or did Samson deserve the victory. Let's have a look. Okay, now that the 4K footage is out, I think we're going to have a much clearer look as to what was happening because the live stream footage, as per usual, is absolutely atrocious. I will mention though, the lighting in the Prague Pro was phenomenal. Olympia, wake up. Okay, let's have a look. Front double bicep. Wow. Okay, let's have a look at that. So, first off, I want to say, this is shocking. Samson's legs are down, completely down. If you look at both of these legs together, okay, so Samson's legs versus Martin's legs, there's no way that they should be roughly the same size. Martin's a good few inches shorter than Samson. So Martin's legs have really impressed me. Legs are going to go to Martin, no doubt. I do, however, prefer the upper body of Samson in this shot. Okay, both his biceps have similar peaks. Martin's are a bit different. So this is obviously down to genetics, but they do play a role because these are the bodies we have to judge. His left peak is a bit shorter, so the head is actually shorter, and the right's a bit longer. But what I really don't like about Martin's front double bicep is that his abs don't really show any detail when he uses a vacuum pose. Okay, Samson's using a vacuum and we can see the ab blocks are detailed quite nicely here. I think Martin should be clenching down on his abs or crunching it as opposed to pulling a vacuum in this shot. I do see why he does it though. Okay, he does want this V taper to show because his lats do flare out quite nicely in this pose and his abdominal cavity is quite thin as well. So this is quite awesome for him, but I do give this pose to Let's move on. Front lat spread. Okay, let's go. All right. Once again, Samson is dominating in this pose. Okay, it is a lat spread, so as good as your body parts are, we have to focus on the lats. Okay, and Samson's lats are clearly visible. Okay, they're clearly symmetrical. Okay, Martin, I don't know what happens to him in this pose because his lats look phenomenal in the front double bicep, but somehow they just vanish in the front lat spread. So I'm not sure whether this is a posing technique that he needs to work on, but yeah, he's definitely lacking in this pose. So I'm definitely giving that pose to Samson. Okay, so front lat spread goes to Samson. Let's take a second to appreciate Martin's leg development, though. This is phenomenal. Okay, let's move on. Okay, side chest next. Let's have a look. Now, Samson's height puts him at a great advantage here because side chests always look better from a big person. Okay, and we can see that is true as well. They both fill out their frames completely. Okay, so there's no gaps, there's nothing missing. I will say, however, Martin's legs are completely dominating Samson's. Okay, his hamstring drop is much bigger. Okay, we can see it flares out a lot more. Okay, it's also separated a lot more from his glute. Okay, Samson's is as well, but whether it's the lighting or the tan, something here just does not look very separated. So it gives a better look on Martin for sure. Okay, but it is a side chest pose and the bigger chest is going to dominate this pose and the wider appearance is going to dominate this pose. So Samson takes this without a doubt, but Martin is close, very close behind. Okay, let's appreciate as well Martin's conditioning. He is absolutely shredded to the bone. Okay, the big boys turn around. Let's have a look at what happens here. And there. Okay, now, this is where the game changes. Samson has never been good from the back. Well, he's been good, but he's never been dominating from the back. And this is always a weakness on his part. And Martin has brought that back up. Look at the density. Look at the thickness of the lats, the rhomboids. Even the traps are looking fantastic. Look at how thick and meaty these are. Okay, as opposed to Samson's, yeah, he's really small in this area. His lats are nice, his lower lats, but they don't flare out very wide in the back shot, in the back double by. And yeah, Martin's is just absolutely fantastic in this shot. Not to mention, the lower body of Martin is ridiculous. Okay, it is so much better than Samson's. This is laughable. Okay, these glutes are shredded. These hamstrings are shredded. And they are thick and huge. Okay, Samson is so much taller. Martin should not have the size that Samson has. Yet, he probably has bigger legs than Samson. And that's not good for Samson. Okay, so the back double bicep goes to Martin without a doubt. Back lat spread, okay, another pose that the bigger guy should be dominating in. Okay, because of width, let's have a look. Okay, let's pause that right there. Okay, so, okay, Samson's width is definitely bigger than Martin's, but Martin's a shorter man. He's a much shorter man, and the width is not that much bigger. Okay, so the details do come out a little bit more in Samson's traps in this pose. Okay, so we can see that his traps are very detailed and the lats pop out quite nicely as well. Martin's lats don't pop out as much. Okay, and his traps are also not as detailed as Samson's. But we can also see that his arms create quite a nice silhouette in this image. Okay, now that's giving the appearance that his lats are much bigger than they actually are. Okay, not to mention the lower body, guys. Look at Martin's lower body. There is nothing Samson can do to this. Okay, he is destroying Samson in this regard. And let's see, if they zoom out, it would be a bit better as well. Okay, yeah. The lower body is completely dominating, and I think it actually creates a better silhouette for this pose. And I'm going to give this pose to Martin for sure. Okay, it just looks more dense. The lines look more filled out. Okay, Samson's lower body just fades away, and it takes away from his overall beautiful upper back. Okay, let's move on. So Martin wins that shot. Side tricep. Both of these dudes have amazing side triceps. Samson looking amazing. Martin looking absolutely peeled out of his mind. Okay, so let's have a look at this. And Martin also has another pose here. He does another one as well, doesn't he? Yeah, here we go. Now, I'm pausing it here because I wish Martin would only hit his side tricep like this. There is no one on the stage that is touching his side tricep in this pose. Okay, we can see his heads on his quads are absolutely shredded to the max. His abdominal wall is shredded to the max. Deep, deep, deep cuts in his abs and his serratus. Okay, and his obliques as well. Also, his arms are very separated. We can see the tricep completely separated from the bicep. Okay, and the brachioradialis, baby please, okay, as per Louis Marco would say. Okay, so I think Martin takes this pose without a doubt, but this is very, very close. The only reason I don't give it to Samson is because of Samson's legs once again. They're not separated. Okay, his tricep is there, it's nice, and it's also separated from the rest of the arm. Chest is looking nice and full. I do not see the separation in his obliques and serratus though. Okay, there's no separation between that and the abs. And Martin's is completely dry. Okay, so Samson does look like he's holding a lot of water still. Okay, and that's something we're going to see a bit later as well. So this shot definitely goes to Martin. Let's go. Abs and thighs, something that Samson is known for, right? Should be known for. Let's see. Okay. Wow. Okay, so Martin is bringing those details, guys. This is where he completely separates himself away from Samson. His detail and his overall conditioning is far, far, far superior to Samson's. Okay, this is like a week, 2 weeks difference in competing. Okay, so he looks like he's maybe 2 weeks out. Samson looks 2 weeks out, and Martin looks completely stage ready. All right. Not to mention something else. Look at Martin's quad, guys. It is absolutely round. Okay, his legs are actually bubbling out. They're round, and Samson's is completely flat. Well, not completely flat, but it's much, much more flat than it usually is. And there's no way that a shorter guy should have bigger looking legs than a taller guy. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I think with Samson dropping so much of weight for the Olympia, I think it definitely dropped a lot of muscle tissue from his legs, something he's going to have to recover very, very quickly. Okay, so this shot definitely for me goes to Martin.
Your favorite most muscular.
And the most muscular. Okay, let's look at that, guys. Samson's looking incredibly huge here. Okay, but once again, where are the details? Okay, he isn't dry. He's looking watery. His shoulders and chest look very, very soft. Okay, it's not dominating like he usually would in this shot. Whereas, if we go over to Martin, he is hard all over. Okay, everywhere that you look is absolutely solid as a rock. And that's what we want. That's what your condition should be at this level of competition. So as tough as it is to say, I will give Martin the most muscular pose as well. And Samson's dripping, guys. Samson is dripping wet. He should not have that water beneath his skin. Martin is looking phenomenal in his abs. Oh my goodness.
Your favorite most muscular.
And Samson is wet once again, so you cannot see what's actually happening on his body. It takes away from the details. It takes away from the overall look. And Martin just looks absolutely fantastic. Martin's also looking like he's a bit wet. Okay, so it might be the stage lights that are getting rid of the water. He also should not have that water on him. He can wipe it away though, and it actually does go away, but Samson is like a pool of water right now.
Front back spread. Side chest.
Martin's just getting better and Samson is fading. That's what happened at the end of this show. Samson faded away, he was watery, he was soft, and Martin just got harder and harder and harder.
Back double bicep.
Martin's back is untouchable here.
Back lat spread.
Yeah, Krizo's back is actually even better than Samson's, to be honest. Not the lat spread, but the back double bi for sure. Now, I want to have a look at this. Martin needs to sort out his pose for his back lat spread because his left lat and left arm here seems a bit cinched, or something is going on where he isn't flexing this correctly. It looks higher than his right side. I think there's something maybe pulling here, or maybe there's even a structural issue here where he needs to get it sorted. We can also see that it makes the left trap yeah, appear a bit differently as well. The shape is different compared to the right as well. So he needs to fix that. But I still give him this pose.
Side tricep.
Martin's abdominal wall is just phenomenal. This side tricep really reminds me of Phil Heath. It's a very, very similar look that Phil had in his side tricep, and it's untouchable. I mean, Phil was phenomenal. And Samson, however, oh, this really looks like a mess. This looks messy.
Abdominals and thighs.
Martin's abs are so symmetrical.
Muscular.
Oh man, look at Krizo. Krizo's crab most muscular is just the best, honestly. Look at that.
Great job, gentlemen.
Okay.
Round one. Back to you, Michael.
Overall, what a show, guys. This was really a quality show. I would love to hear all of your opinions as well, guys. So please comment down below, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to be bringing you a lot more videos in the future. So stay tuned, click the bell icon, and I'll see you again soon.